Hello, everyone. My name is Thomas B. Monty, and welcome to the May the 4th podcast, the one-episode podcast where we talk about all things Star Wars until we get bored of it. So how about let's just go around and say who everyone is. So we'll start off right here.
I'm Summer.
I'm Paige.
I'm Brendan.
And basically, we're just going to go through a bunch of different topics related to Star Wars and talk about our love or hate for Star Wars, depending on how you guys feel, and we'll see how it goes. So, first off, the question I want to ask you guys is, what is your favorite Star Wars movie and why? Summer.
I'm going to say Return of the Jedi, and I like it because of the Ewoks.
That is a very Summer answer. If you don't know Summer, that is a very Summer answer.
I'd have to say Revenge of the Sith, just because I fell in love with the characters and the plot of the movie, and it's one of the best of the prequels.
Same. I'm a fan of Revenge of the Sith. I like the Anakin and Obi-Wan duel and the beginning battle. There's a lot of action in it, and it shows like how Darth Vader was born.
Yeah.
So.
See, my personal opinion, I'm sort of very close or tied between A New Hope and Empire, although I think I'm more leaning towards A New Hope. My question is, why do you guys think that Revenge of the Sith, in your opinion, is better than the three originals? That's what I want to know. What's your thought process on that?
It's just the story and the characters and the way that, the Jedi Order was still around, because I've always kind of liked the prequel era and the whole idea of the Order and all the individual Jedi stories that are told. And then it also really gives the story of Darth Vader and how we get our main villain from the original trilogy.
My argument is that without the three originals,
not
that you only wouldn't just have the movie. Without the three originals, you wouldn't feel as much for the characters in Revenge of the Sith. So I think that the three original films are the groundwork to be placed upon, to make that your favorite film.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's a really close connection with the whole Padme, Anakin, and Obi-Wan trio, as we see Han Solo, Luke, and Leia. And we kind of have our trios in the trilogy. In the sequel, we have Rey, Finn, and Poe. So, yeah, not a fan of the sequels.
I will say, probably out of all three of the trilogies, I think Padme, Anakin, and Obi-Wan is probably the best. And I feel like you have... No, okay, hear me out. Hear me out. You didn't let me finish.
Yeah.
I think their story is so much... it's sadder than anybody. Yes, more tragic. That's the word.
Yeah, it's more of a tragic and emotional story. They give it in depth. They have a real, not saying Luke, Leia, and Han don't have a real adventure, but it's more of since we do have that exponent of the Jedi Order and the forbidden romance that we have. Sorry.
And who was Anakin and Leia's mother.
Yeah, we get to see that background.
You see the
You see the tragic love story that made
it may be more
these
tragic,
twins.
But I think that Han, Leia, and Luke are the better trio if we're comparing trios. That is.
Why is that?
Why is that?
Why are you forgetting Chewbacca?
Because we're
That's
talking about
We're
the
talking about trios, but remember
not a trio, 'cause
Rose from the
Chewbacca's there.
sequel? Rose is kind of like that fourth. Chewie's
so
kind of like that.
Rose-
Who's the
Rose
fourth?
is
R2
Chewbacca?
is kind of the fourth in the original.
Okay.
So
That
was
seems
3PO.
but no, but
3PO.
if we're talking about the three main human,
Alright,
people in
whatever.
Star Wars and all that, because that's sort of a theme throughout the trilogies as well. The reason why I believe that Han, Leia, and Luke are better is because they're more. I just think they're better written characters, and I think they're better acted too. I think that they are more.
Fisher.
Yeah, I think that they're more well thought out compared to Padme, and Obi-Wan and Anakin in a lot of certain situations. And it's also you talk about tragedy, but the main thing that makes Star Wars great is how there's so much dramatic energy going on, and that a million different things could happen at once when you're watching it for the first time, and you don't know what's going to happen next. And it's designed like that. And I think that with the love-hate relationship that the three of them have, it works out really well, and that's why.
I have a question for you. What movie did you watch first? Were you a prequel, in an order, or were you in the movie made order?
A movie made.
Okay, so that could also be why, because I started from the very first, from Phantom Menace.
I believe that
So
is
that
a
also can
mistake, and
change
if you show your
perspectives.
child the Phantom Menace first, that is a mistake on your behalf as a parent.
It is not.
Okay.
It was boring, but it's
Yeah,
a very
the whole
vital
prequel trilogy.
for your love of the next two movies.
Summer disagrees with my opinion.
For me, the movie. Well, wait. Are we asking what movie started us?
Yeah. Like, what movie did you start with?
So my dad first showed me A New Hope, but that was when I was maybe 6, so I don't remember that. The first movie that got me really into Star Wars, unpopular opinion, Force Awakens.
Now that's bad.
No, but listen.
yeah,
No, I
I'm
love-
gonna have to
I
agree
love
with
The
Thomas.
Force
But
Awakens.
that's not my favorite.
I
I
like The
love-
Force Awakens.
Okay, keep on going.
No, you go.
Okay,
you go
thank
if
you.
you want to be like that. Yeah.
So
be
that was
sassy.
the first thing I watched, and that's also the movie that really got me fell in love with like action movies. Just Daisy Ridley as Rey, love that. And then I started watching from A New Hope, and then I watched the prequels, and then I finished the
See,
series.
but then also Summer's favorite trio, she said, was Obi-Wan, Anakin, and Padme. So,
But I feel like the sequels have a special place in my heart because that's what really got me into the
I
franchise.
hate to diss Natalie Portman,
what?
but
Here we go.
her acting
go.
in that film is some of the worst in all 3 of the trilogies.
Okay, but like,
Okay.
I
Okay,
get that.
that's agreeable. That's
It
an
is,
agreeable
it is.
fact.
She's definitely grown as an actress.
I just love Daisy Ridley. That's my
No, 'cause
unpopular opinion. I love Rey.
if we want to go into the sequel trilogies, here's my personal opinion.
Poorly written.
Well, not as compared to the prequels, it's like Da Vinci.
Okay.
But
keep on going. Just keep on going. I'm
But-
just saying things.
The Force Awakens is a great movie. It's a good
Okay.
follow-up to all the other films.
Yeah.
I personally enjoyed
The
it.
only sad part is when Han Solo gets killed.
Of course.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Well, hopefully you guys watched it. You know, it came out in 2015. But what's the name of it? Last Jedi, I think, not an unpopular opinion whatsoever, completely bastardized all the plot lines.
Yes.
Yeah.
Completely ruined any dramatic expectations, and not. And the key thing that a lot of fans that support the Last Jedi say is, subverting expectations. It subverted the expectations because it killed Snoke and it did this and all this and this and this. But that's not what makes a story fun. You could have a million twists and turns, and it wouldn't be fun. You need to basically
Yeah.
build up this dramatic story and fall in love with characters and be able to be like, I relate to this character, and I relate to this story, and I'd be sad if this character died and all that. And you don't feel that in The Last Jedi. You grow against characters that you've loved, like especially Luke. Luke's character was written completely horribly, and it was a bastardization of everything that the original trilogy set up and the prequel trilogy set up. And then the Rise of Skywalker was sort of just trying to scramble together to
Yeah,
make it
what
right.
was up with Rise of Skywalker? You don't see like Anakin in it. All you see is just the Emperor.
Well, because Anakin's dead.
Yeah, that's true, but they brought back the Emperor even though he is dead.
I know, but I think that the
Oh.
Emperor was more worshipped.
You know what I did not like about The Rise of Skywalker? How they made, at the very last second, Ben Solo and Rey have a
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Just
It
for
felt
very,
just for
like,
5 seconds.
Just for 5
I think they were just trying to please the teenage girls
Yeah.
out there, and it's just like there was no reason to have that.
What are the
So-
thoughts on Rey being a Skywalker?
Listen, if
I
it
think
was
that's
done,
cool.
if it was done better,
Yeah.
then it
I
would have
would
been
enjoy
better.
it, yeah.
The thing is that it was so flippant of your parents are nobody. Okay, does that serve the story dramatically?
Yeah.
No, it takes a plot line and it just throws it in the trash. It does
Yeah.
not feel satisfying for an audience whatsoever.
It was very rushed. Her character development wasn't there.
But I
Yeah.
could absolutely see if it was built up better of the parents are actually nobody, and that's more of a tragic fact that brings Rey down. And then later on, it's but I'll always have the people before me like Luke Skywalker, and I consider myself a Skywalker. That's fine.
Yeah.
I feel as if Daisy Ridley did a great job with what she was given, but I also do love her new lightsaber. That's my favorite one.
Yeah,
The
I
gold.
love
Yeah,
why
I
it's
like that
yellow.
And how
one,
she
too.
made
It's
it.
yellow like a Jedi Temple Guard, which I find really fascinating because Filoni once said that only the Jedi
We're
Temple
quoting
Guards
Filoni
get
here.
it.
We're quoting the Bible.
Exactly.
Let her speak. Let her speak. I want to hear this quote. I want to hear this quote.
But yeah, so basically only the Jedi Guards have the yellow lightsabers, but the only other person to have it was Rey. So I really hope that we learn that because in the Old Republic, the Old Republic, there was a whole bunch. We got that leak of the cinematic animation a while back of I think it was the New Republic. The whatever
I
it
didn't
was,
see it.
but it was one of the new trailers that came out maybe a couple weeks ago. But there were a lot of Jedi Temple guards and they all had yellow. But like we've never seen another character with yellow saber besides Ahsoka Tano's dual saber. Her
Yeah.
second one was like a green yellow though.
Yeah.
And I find that fascinating because her lightsaber color changes a lot. Like at first it was like green, and then we got the dual saber that was yellow green, and we got the blue ones to match Anakin, and then she bled the red ones and made them white. So I wonder where that's gonna like, if that has any connection at all.
Yeah, speaking of Ahsoka, I kind of want to see the Ahsoka series come out.
Yep.
I'm
Yes.
so excited. All
And
my
you
Rebels
guys ever seen?
fans.
You guys ever seen? Was it Tales of the Jedi yet?
It was so
I didn't
rushed.
see that.
Tales of the Jedi.
I didn't.
The book, it basically like retells the story of Ahsoka and how she got her lightsabers. It is so rushed. I recommend reading the book. The book was amazing. But Tales of the Jedi, definitely, I was a little disappointed with that. The rest of the stories were amazing. That one was just really rushed. But
Yeah, I wanted to see like an episode of like how Yoda became a Jedi,
Yes.
Anakin, Obi-Wan. Those
They're
I
not going to
would
touch
love-
Yoda's backstory though.
Why?
Because maybe they might.
it's
'cause,
kind of already
you
like
know,
set. Like
They might, but George Lucas was basically saying like he would prefer. Now he has no control, but you know the current people at
Yeah.
Lucasfilm really respect his vision. So you know they said that Lucas said that he didn't want to elaborate on Yoda's backstory because he sort of created it just as a substitute to Obi-Wan. Because originally, when Lucas sat down to think about Star Wars, he made the outline of all the trilogies, and basically he had Obi-Wan going till the end of the thing. But he realized that Obi-Wan didn't really have that much to do after he shuts down the shield at the Death Star. So what he did is he had him killed instead. But when it came time to make Empire Strikes Back, they were thinking, what do we do? Who teaches Luke? So they made Yoda, and it was just, and he doesn't even know the backstory himself. He just made it up
Yeah.
on a whim, and he thinks that it really shouldn't be used. But speaking of Yoda, when it comes to Grogu, right? Mm-hmm. Do we think that this might be have you guys ever heard of Yaddle?
yes,
What?
yep.
The
It's
female,
female version of Yoda.
yep, in the prequels.
We see her a bit in the prequels.
Yes. Okay. Yes, I do
Do
remember.
you think that Grogu is the baby of Yoda and Yaddle,
Oh,
and will they ever touch
God.
on it? And will they ever
no,
touch on it?
because in the Jedi Order, love's forbidden. So even if he
But
was, would he be
yet
able
again,
to,
Anakin.
to learn how to be a Jedi?
I don't know. If
I
you could-
vote no.
Yeah, I know.
But the issue is that those are the only two.
They weren't the
People
less
of
of
the species.
But those are the
They
only
said in
two
the
you
order.
see in the movie.
Yeah,
but
they
in
said in the order exactly.
in the the whole entire universe, galaxy,
yeah.
you don't know if we're the only ones.
yeah.
Well, Yaddle, like.
But it's sort of a weird coincidence. So, truly, who's your guys' favorite Star Wars character, and why?
Don't come to me first. Go to somebody else.
Anakin.
Anakin,
That's
not
a
Darth
hard
Vader,
one.
just Anakin.
Just Anakin.
Well, Darth Vader is Anakin though.
But you know, they make a very distinct distinction of like, you know, Anakin died and now it's Darth Vader. You know, because of how much of a transformation he went through.
I think I'm gonna have to go with Princess Leia. Very basic, but listen. I have a reasoning for it. I think the time period when it came out, you never seen a woman be very independent before, and she was very independent. Like I could do it by myself, so it really showed what it's just a good view for little girls to see that up on a screen. So and also I love Carrie Fisher. It's just. She's amazing.
I think one of her first few lines when she gets into the shootout with the stormtroopers, with Han and Luke, is "Someone's got to save our skins."
Yes.
And
Yes.
then she jumps in.
Iconic quote. Someone has to save our
I
skins.
watched that and I said, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Someone does have to save our
She's
skins.
iconic.
But
I like Luke's favorite quote. He's like, "I'm a Jedi, like my father."
that's
Like my father before
that
me.
summarizes his whole character motivations, which they again throw away in The Last Jedi, where he gives up hope and he gives into his anger and he gives into his
Yeah.
hate. Like, what the hell's
And he
that?
chucks
Yeah,
his
exactly.
lightsaber away. then
Who's your
he
favorite
shocks
character,
him.
Thomas?
I don't know. Like, I have a lot. Like, who I looked up to most as a kid was absolutely Luke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew it.
You don't get it?
No, I said I knew it.
I thought you were saying I don't get it. So what made you know that I looked up to Luke the most? Like, I love Boba Fett. I love Darth Vader. I love watching all those characters, but I most related to Luke growing up.
I don't know. I think it's just when you could tell, I could tell that your favorite character, Anakin. And I could tell that yours would be Luke.
But
I
how?
feel like,
I'm trying to ask.
I
you
don't
about
know.
that.
Just like the look.
I want somebody to guess
look.
mine now. I want to see if she's right.
It's gonna be like Padme or something.
Is it? No, I feel like it's like Obi-Wan.
I would say
Is
that's-
it?
It's yeah. It's Obi-Wan.
I
So
was
what
thinking
is-
Ahsoka?
Ahsoka's like a close second along with Sabine Wren. I like love those characters, but no one can replace Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
saw Obi-Wan and I
I
kind
feel
of just
like Chris,
wanted to follow his journey.
Our camera guy would be Han, or no.
No.
Solo, it wouldn't be Solo.
No,
you
he
give
hasn't.
very
He hasn't
solo
watched it.
energy.
He hasn't watched it.
I watched the fourth movie.
The fourth movie.
He said
so
he
that
watched
was...
the fourth movie for those at
Oh.
home.
Strikes Back? No,
Yeah,
it's a New
no,
Hope.
it was
That's
New Hope.
New Hope.
It was a New Hope. So who's really
Well,
like
it's the C-3PO. What are you talking about?
Yes.
C-3PO? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chris, you give off that energy.
So, but I'm trying to think like, what about me says Luke Skywalker?
I don't know. It's just
The
like
way you present yourself.
Yes, I think it's just like the way everyone presents. Like it just makes sense. It just makes sense in
I
my
think
brain.
that if
It fits. I agree
It
with Summer
fits.
on that. It fits.
So-
it clicks.
when the boot.
When the boot fits.
yeah.
If the boot.
What I
Uh,
liked about the trilogy is when Attack of the Clones came out and Jango Fett had a son, and that son was Boba Fett.
Yeah.
So it kind of told the origin of Boba Fett too. It's not just Anakin. There's like other characters.
Exactly.
So like Boba's one of them.
Jar Jar
And then-
Binks.
Don't
Jar Jar
mention Jar
Binks.
Jar Binks.
I
in
love
this
Jar Jar
household.
And then
Binks.
they forgot about the other the other clone main characters. Like you had Captain Rex, Commander Cody. Commander Cody. There was a
Clone
difference
Wars
between
loved.
Cody and Rex. Mm-hmm. Like as you saw, like season 7 of the Clone Wars, Ahsoka removed Rex's chip, so now he's free from killing the Jedi. But I don't know if you guys watch Bad Batch, but
Yep.
Commander Cody's
Yep.
in it, and he's still on the bad guy's side.
I found that really strange. I was like really like heart wrenched when I saw that because I know that Cody killed the Blue Jedi Alia,
Yeah.
Ayala, something
Yeah.
like that, and they were like having a love affair, and he kills her because of the chip. So it just shows how powerful like this chip is over the clones and how it's very
The
unfair to
inhibitor
them.
chip.
The inhibitor chip, yeah, and it's just so unfair because it wasn't like their choice. But
Yeah.
I think that Star Wars is basically the masterclass in creating villains because look at, in my personal opinion, Star Wars created one of the three best villains of cinematic history. Number 1 being Darth Vader. Number 2 being Boba Fett. Number 3 being Jabba the Hutt. No, Emperor goes before Jabba.
What
and
about
Boba.
Palpatine? Come on.
Yeah, but
what
Emperor
about
Emperor's second.
Palpatine was like really up
Yeah,
there.
Emperor's second.
Yeah.
Darth
and then-
Vader's definitely a really good
Well, no,
one.
the thing is that Emperor, if you look at him on a
Jabba
base
the
level
Hutt,
without like the great performance by Ian McDiarmid, if you look at the writing, it's like a very base level character, but the way that he adds his sort of creepiness to it, you know?
Yeah, it's very like the way that they describe the dark side versus the light side, and how there was like a distinct difference when we first saw the films to now there being the white saber that we see. Fulcrum's the guy from I didn't watch it yet, but Andor, he's a Fulcrum agent now. We have Callus from Rebels, we have Ahsoka from Rebels. And it just like goes to show like this rebellion too now. There's not just like dark and light. There like is that balance of medium that the Jedi Order and the Sith never believed in. So it really just shows growth, and I really think that's what hooked me on Star Wars is like the story and like how the plot keeps continuing to grow and it doesn't just like stop on one thing.